When the Lamb opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a black horse. Its rider was holding a pair of scales in his hand. Then I heard what sounded like a voice among the four living creatures saying, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages, and 6 pounds of barley for a day's wages. And do not damage the oil and the wine. The black horse represents economic collapse. The scales that we just read about represent the marketplace. Possibly due to this bloodbath and war from the red horse, there is a major economic collapse and famine. Can I have my next slide up there for capitalism, please? This is the flag of capitalism. You could call it coincidence if you will, but the color of the flag of capitalism is black and gold, representing profit, finance, and wealth. Gold always represents wealth. It always represents royalty. And in the world of finance and accounting, black ink means you're profitable. In other words, when you're in the black, you're making money. Come on, how many of you know what I'm talking about? When you have red ink on your books, not looking too good for the home team. Right? Means you're losing money. Black ink means you're profitable. That's why the merchants, I'm going to give you a little revelation here, somebody. That's why the merchants call the Friday after Thanksgiving what Friday? Why is it Black Friday? It's not a celebration for our African Americans, is it? They're making money. It's when they become profitable. Is everybody following me? So black represents profitability in the marketplace. So listen up here. While capitalism is a good thing, our nation, which is a capitalistic society and by far the greatest nation on earth in history, and it's not because, listen, it's not because of man, it's because God himself ordained the United States of America. We have sent more missionaries, built more hospitals around this earth. We've sent more finances around the world to those in need than any other nation on earth. The American people are very generous in that respect. However, the Achilles heel of capitalism is that it breeds greed. And it breeds greed, listen, in every socioeconomic status, whether you're rich, middle class, or poor, capitalism can breed greed. How many of you know you don't have to be rich to be greedy? Yeah, all wealthy people don't have to be greedy. They're not, just because somebody has zillions of dollars, that doesn't mean they're greedy. Those are some of the most generous people on earth. And on the flip side of that, people that, can't put 2 nickels together, they hoard everything. Well, I'm just trying to preach to somebody this. I'm trying to help somebody out here. See, stingy is a sign of greed. Greed is measured in your heart, not in your bank account. The opposite of greed is generous. So how generous are you? Are you a giver or are you a taker? See, that will determine your level of greed. That was just another teachable moment. No extra charge for that this morning. All right. So now we as the USA have the greatest economic engine in the world. However, we have become extremely narcissistic as a nation. Even in the church. Oh, it's filtered its way into the church. Extremely self-centered. We just can't get enough. And when we think we got enough, the Joneses drive home in a new car. And all of a sudden now, I need to have a new car. We have an insatiable appetite for stuff. For things. Even in the church. Come on, somebody. Paul said, let me be content with food and raiment and a shelter. Let me therewith be content. I've been poor. I've been rich. In both places, I've learned to be content. So when somebody has a whole lot more money, you has a whole lot more jewelry, has a nice family, has a nicer house, don't be envious. Rejoice in them. Rejoice with them. So as a follower of Christ, we should not have this attitude. However, during this coming economic collapse, this passage speaks about, and it will come, church, make no mistake about it. The Bible says that one will have to work an entire day just to feed themselves. There's pockets of this happening all over the world even today. In 2008, watch this now, Zimbabwe was the first nation in history to lose its currency due to hyperinflation and economic collapse. We were there in 2008, and I just want to show you something. What I'm holding in my hand is a $5 billion Zimbabwe bill. Y'all didn't know your pastor was a billionaire, did you? I think we have I know y'all can't see that from here. If you put the slide up. $5 billion. I took a picture of it and put it up there for you so y'all couldn't see it. This is Zimbabwean currency from 2008. This $5 billion, you could not even buy a loaf of bread. As a matter of fact, it has an expiration date on it. It expired in December. We got it in October, so for like 2 months, we were able to say we were billionaires. $5 billion. We were in Zimbabwe at the time. When you walk in the stores, there was like 1 or 2 loaves of bread, but nobody had any money that was worth anything that can buy it. All the gas stations were closed. Everything was coming in on the black market. Our host pastor, who hosted our team, which was about 18 of us that year, they had to ship the food in from Botswana. Come on, somebody. Just to feed us for the 5 or 6 days that we were there. I'm talking about a black horse this morning. I'm talking about economic collapse. In Zimbabwe, everybody could claim they were billionaires, but everybody was poverty-stricken. Currently, let's bring this to today. Venezuela. Their inflation rate in January 2019, I double-checked the statistics. In January, their inflation rate is 2.69 million%. To compare that to the USA, we are at about 2%. What does that mean? Let me give you an example. A loaf of bread that cost you $1 in the U.S. today, 1 year from now, with 2% inflation, would cost you $1.02. Is everybody with me? In Venezuela, that loaf of bread that cost you $1 this year, next year will cost you almost $3 million. I'm trying to give you a picture of the black horse. Come on, does somebody follow me? When a day's wage won't even buy you enough to eat. Now, does capitalism cause this economic collapse? I don't believe so. I believe that it's the abuse of the capitalistic system, as in my 2 examples. Socialism isn't completely separate of capitalism. It's a perversion of capitalism. Socialism is a redistribution of wealth that was earned. Did somebody hear me? That was earned through capitalism, and then eventually it collapses because, just as Margaret Thatcher said, socialism works until you run out of other people's money.
That's right. Amen.
And then it collapses.
That's right.
So this black horse church that is coming, it's a world economic collapse which will pave the way for a one world economic system. And we know that we already have the United Nations. We have the euro in Europe. We have China even calling for a one world currency. It's right on our doorstep, church. Now, even in this economic collapse, verse 6, one of my favorite verses in here, says that it does not touch, this economic collapse does not touch the oil and the wine, meaning the gospel of Jesus Christ will continue to be preached. The oil of the Lord will still anoint his servants. Come on, somebody.
To every nation, to every generation, to all creation, to proclaim the gospel.